All right, y'all. I kind of breezed through the other scenes in this episode because I really wanted to get down to the meat and potatoes, to the heart of this episode, to the scene where all the BS jumps off. Kenya Moore's grand opening for Kenya Moore Hair Spa. Grand opening, grand closing. Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ty and this is RealiTea Table Talk. I'm here to share my thoughts and opinions on the latest episodes of the reality shows we all love to watch. Now, my thoughts are my thoughts and the reviews I share are from my perspective. But I can pretty much guarantee that at least one of us are sharing the same thought while we're watching these shows. If you are new to my channel, welcome to my table. If you are returning, thank you for joining me again. I would love to engage with each and every one of you, so please comment down below. Let me know what you think of this review. If you did this video, like, share, and subscribe. And y'all, with that said, go ahead and pull up a seat, join me at the table, and let's get into this review. And y'all, I am back with a whole new review for the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 16, episode 5. I am still reeling off of last week's episode with Brit and Kenya and the pistol of it all, y'all. I am still reeling from it. And I just finished watching episode 5. Woo, y'all. What I've seen here in this episode, I have to say, I'm disgusted. And I know a lot of y'all felt that Kenya was vindicated after what happened last week. But after seeing this episode, y'all, I'm going to tell you what, Kenya is Kenya. And as much as I wanted to see some growth out of her, and as much as I thought I was seeing some growth out of her last week, woo, honey, no ma'am. No ma'am. After what I just saw, like I said, I am completely disgusted. But we'll get into that here in a minute. Let's go ahead and start off with the first scene. So we are at Sterling Hall, y'all, at my favorite's home, Shamia. Y'all, I love me some Shamia. Y'all know I do. You've heard me say it over and over again in my previous episodes. You're probably going to hear it a whole lot more before this season is out. So we're at Shamia's house with Angela and Brit, and they're kind of talking about what happened at this dinner last week. Now, first, Shamia thanks Angela for accepting her apology with the olive branch, y'all, that was sticking up out of that Bertolli bottle. Angela accepted it. And you know what? One of the reasons that I love Shamia so much is she just seems like a genuine person. She can hold herself accountable. She knew she was wrong for speaking on Angela's looks. She apologized. It was genuine. And that's what real women do. You can kind of read the room and see if somebody is receptive to accepting your apology at a particular time. And the fact that Angela still included Shamia in that dinner let Shamia know, okay, I got the green light to go ahead and apologize. She did. Angela and Shamia are great. So now Brit and Angela are saying that neither one of them got any sleep from the night before. The night before was the dinner party that went to hell. So Angela is like, I didn't get any sleep because I'm receiving blowback from the owner of the venue. Like, what was jumping off? Do we need extra security? And so then Brit says, you know, she regretted coming at Kenya the way that she did. She regretted the veiled threats that were made towards Kenya. And y'all, when I rewatched last week's episode, well, I watched it about 3 or 4 times before I did my last review. I made sure to get as much detail as I could about that last scene after the dinner party, because when Brit was talking about having a pistol, initially, she was talking about going outside of the venue. The venue was in Bankhead. The ladies have all said it's a dangerous area. Brit was like, let me call my husband before I walk outside these doors and make sure he's out there. Kelly was like, yeah, go ahead and call him and make sure he's out there. And Brit was like, oh no, it's cool. I got my pistol just in case he's not. And Kelly was like, well, I've got my security guard outside, so we're all cool. That was initially the context behind this whole pistol situation. When Brit's husband showed up and they walked outside the venue and Mike is asking Brit what's going on, Brit got riled up again. She was like, I had to let that be no. This ain't Hollywood. This is real life. And I got my pistol and I got whips and I got all of that. But she's not going to disrespect me. She's going to learn not to disrespect me. And if she don't know, she's going to learn today. Today, she going to learn. That's what Brit said. So the second time she mentioned the pistol, to me, it was a veiled threat towards Kenya. She did not come out and say, Kenya B, I got my pistol here. Come at me. I got a bullet with your name on it if you want to try me. She didn't say any of that. And I'm going to throw Brit Bell again here. She was hurt. She was angry, but that anger was stemming from hurt. I really, truly feel she had an adoration for Kenya before filming. I feel like maybe she was a fan of Kenya, and she thought that she was going to be coming into this particular group, creating sisterhood with these ladies. And I feel like she particularly wanted to receive that from Kenya. She did not receive that from Kenya for whatever reason. And so she was hurt by it. She felt slighted by it. And when Kenya called her a peasant, that was it. That sent her over the edge. So I get where she felt disrespected and where she was angry. And again, I see that coming from hurt. I feel like Brit does have some trauma that she has not healed from, and that maybe caused her to lash out the way that she did. But after watching this episode 5, I'm just completely, utterly disgusted. Again, we'll get into that. So now Brit says that Shamia had asked her if she had sisters. And Brit says, yeah, she has sisters, and they get into it and whatnot, but that's family. But when you're dealing with people outside of your family, it's a little different. She wanted to come into this group and feel that sense of sisterhood. And so because she does regret what she did at the dinner party, after the dinner party, and for the sake of the sisterhood, for these group of ladies, she wants to apologize to Kenya. And I applaud her for that. The person you're apologizing to, they do need to be in a place where they are able to receive the apology. I don't feel like Kenya's there. Nevertheless, Brit is regretful. She's remorseful. She wants to take accountability and she wants to apologize. In this next scene, Portia, Kelly, and Kenya are all at Kenya Moore Hair Spa, preparing for Kenya's grand opening for this spa. Kenya's decided that she wanted to zhuzh up this event some, so she's enlisted the help of some Kenya Moore hair care models. She's auditioning some ladies to come in and kind of walk the show for her. And I have to say, I have to give it up. Kenya's hair was looking damn good. Kenya's hair was looking good. Portia's hair was looking good. Kelly's hair was looking good. All the hair was looking fabulous. So now the models come out to audition, and baby, all of these ladies are looking good. They are beautiful, beautiful ladies that I feel Bravo could have plucked any one of them and put them in this show, put them in this cast, just based off of their looks. And they would have blown up. They would have done great. The models leave and the girls are sitting around talking about what transpired at this dinner. Kenya is pretty much over Brit at this point. She feels like Brit disrespected her. She feels like Brit threatened her. And as a matter of fact, Kenya felt so threatened, I guess, that she decided she needed a security guard as well. So Kelly's security guard is outside of the hair spa. Kenya is just standing right in front. And Kelly is telling them that she's never seen Brit in this light before. She's never seen Brit come out and react like this before. Brit has a good heart. And Kenya interrupts Kelly and says, no, you cannot tell me anything about Brit. I have to make my judgment based off what I see. And from what I've seen, I'm good. She disrespected me. She threatened me. And you know what? What I'm going to do is, instead of seeing who she is, I'm going to hire a private investigator. So the girls are like, well, okay, all right. And on that note, Kenya decides to get up and twirl somewhere. Girl, I don't know where she went. She twirled somewhere. She needs she needs to twirl her ass back to the depths of hell where she came from. Sorry, I said it. Sorry, not sorry. Because after this, the very last scene, I know a lot of y'all were saying that she's vindicated. She is not vindicated in my eyes. Kenya is Kenya. She's always been Kenya. This is what I've always seen of Kenya. This is who I've always known her to be. Again, I'm going off on a tangent, y'all. We'll get to that. All right, y'all. So in this next scene, Angela is at a coffee shop with her daughter, Amari. And they're getting into a situation where Amari is telling Angela about an interaction that she had with her grandmother and her aunt. Now, her grandmother is also supposed to be at the coffee shop. So Amari is asking Angela, where's grandma? And Angela says, she was going to come, but last minute things went left. And so she's not here. But tell me what happened between you and grandma. So Amari says that she went to her grandmother's house to ask to use the car that Angela purchased for her mother, thinking it wouldn't be an issue. And Angela's mother and Angela's sister, I guess they asked Amari for some money. And I'm not quite sure how all of this coincides. And then Angela's sister, Alicia, she just started going off. She jumped up in Amari's face, called her a demon, said F them, F y'all, F all of it. She went off kind of like the way I guess Brit went off on Kenya last week. So Angela's like, well, you didn't tell me any of this. I should have known this from jump. And Amari is like, I just didn't expect that kind of reaction from them because I also help to support them. I pay bills. I'm at their beck and call. I do whatever they need me to do. And so do you. And so Angela says, well, Alicia's not going to get away with getting in your face. And Amari is like, well, then cut them off. Stop supporting them. Stop supporting them financially. And Angela then asked Amari, well, what would you do if it was your mother who needed support? And that made Amari stop and think. So now Amari is 24 years old. Her father was murdered in Chicago when she was 7 years old. So Angela was a single mother for a while. It was just her and Amari until she got into the next relationship. She had another child, and then she got involved with Charles, and they got married and all of that. Angela believes that she and Amari are best friends. They have a super tight bond because of everything that they went through after Amari's father was murdered. I'm wondering just how close they are, because now the real tea is brought up here. Amari had gotten married 4 months prior to, I guess, this scene being filmed, and did not tell Angela. So now flashback 2 weeks. I guess we're sitting in Angela's house on the couch. And Angela is asking Amari, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me that you got married? And Amari was like, well, I'm telling you now. And Angela was like, wow, that's hurtful. So now back at the coffee shop, they're getting more into it. And Amari tells Angela, I didn't mean to, hurt you in any kind of way. I meant to tell you, but who told you? And it turns out Angela's mother told Angela that Amari got married. So now Angela's emotional. She feels hurt. She feels like Amari is being so nonchalant about this whole situation. And Amari is just like, I feel like I'm being thrown underneath the bus here. I wanted the opportunity to tell you. I didn't get the opportunity. Grandma told you before I had a chance to tell you. I'm sorry, but I can't go back in time. And right now, all of this is just feeling like a little bit too much. So Angela says, okay, well, let's go ahead and leave. But the communication between us has broken down. I want you to know you can come and talk to me about anything. Come to me. Let's not have this happen again. So now it was also disclosed here in this scene that Amari had been living in the home with her grandmother and her aunt. Angela purchased the home for her mother and her aunt. Amari lived there for a while. Not too long after she moved in, things went left, and so then Amari moved out. So my first question here is, why was Amari living with the grandmother? Why wasn't she living with Angela? Was there something that took place where Amari didn't feel safe in the house with Angela? To me, it really feels like Amari does not feel like Angela really has her back. And I know Amari could have come off seeming like a brat to some here in this scene, especially after she asked Angela to stop supporting her mother and her sister. But again, Amari is only 24, so I don't really feel like she has enough life experience under her belt to have a full understanding that this is Angela's mother, this is your grandmother. She's going to support her and her sister, period. The reviews I'm sharing are from my perspective, right? So this is just my theory. I have a feeling that because Amari is the oldest, maybe she had to move over for the new child that came along, and that she just really didn't feel seen or heard or backed up by Angela. I feel like maybe she went to Angela with something. She didn't feel like Angela really had her back the way that Amari wanted her to have her back. And so in Amari telling her mom to stop supporting her mother and her sister, she's really kind of using that as a way to gauge just how much of my back do you really have, Mom? Like, are you really going to have my back? Because if you do, I want you to stop supporting these people financially. I was hurt by what happened. Have my back in this moment like you say you're going to, and stop supporting them. Do I feel like she really meant that? No. I feel like she is just kind of testing Angela to see. I needed you to have my back in the day. You didn't. You say you're going to have my back now. You're saying that your sister's not going to get away with getting in my face. So prove that you have my back. But that was just a little bit too much. At the end of the day, I feel like Amari really loves her mom. She expressed in this scene that she loves her grandma, that she respects her. She felt that her grandmother was completely off by having her aunt's back and not having her back. Amari doesn't, to me, feel like she's a disrespectful child. I feel like she's got some issues that she needs to work out with Angela. And I don't feel like Angela and Amari are as close as Angela perceives them to be. All right, y'all. So in this next scene, Miss P. Willie and Brit are meeting up at a restaurant, and they start talking about what happened again at the dinner party. And Brit does express again to Portia that she is remorseful. She says, I was wrong. I will hold up a sign. I will walk around with this sign and say, I was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong. I really didn't want Kenya to feel like I was threatening her. And Portia says, you know what? I get it with Kenya. Kenya, she's got a reputation for being a bitch, for trying to sun some of the newer cast members, for not being the warmest or friendliest person. She says, I get it, but you making that veiled threat was wrong. And she used an example. She said, what if after I had got into it with Drew at Shamia's party, What if I had gotten in the elevator and said, oh, I got my pistol. It's cool. I got my pistol. Then I feel like the light bulb really went off in Brit's head. Before this, again, like I said, I believe that she was remorseful. I believe that she was regretful for her actions. But this kind of really made it hit home for Brit. So Brit says that she wants to apologize to Kenya, and Portia, she seems like she's maybe a little hesitant about Brit doing that, but she doesn't really say it. She's just like, okay, girl, cool. Do your thing. All right, y'all. So in this next scene, Miss Angela Oakley is getting ready for Kenya's grand opening. She's talking with Charles up in her bathroom. Ain't really too much going on here. She tells Charles that Portia had made the comment at the dinner about having some tea on him. Charles is like, well, what does she know? She does not know me. And Angela was like, well, don't worry about it, Charles. I'm going to handle it. And Charles is like, well, you should have handled it in the moment. She can Google me once or twice and then she'll find out. So Angela's like, don't worry, Charles. I got it. Charles is like, you know what? My dinner's on the stove. So he goes downstairs to check on his dinner. Now, as Angela told us before in previous episodes, Charles is the cook. He does the cleaning. He does everything around the house. And Angela is grateful because now this is giving Angela time to get ready for this hair spa event. So she goes downstairs and Charles has a spread laid out. Y'all, if this man is cooking like this, girl, I don't blame you for sticking it out with him through this break baby situation that's been brought to light. Anywho, Charles, he's doing his thing in the kitchen. He's throwing down. Angela's son, I think you pronounce it Avon. He comes down. He gets a little something to eat. And that's pretty much the end of this scene. All right, y'all. I kind of breezed through the other scenes in this episode because I really wanted to get down to the meat and potatoes, to the heart of this episode, to the scene where all the BS jumps off. Kenya Moore's grand opening for Kenya Moore Hair Spa. Grand opening, grand closing. Grand opening, grand closing, y'all. This was a complete shit show to me. And Kenya is to blame for it all. So all the ladies are there. Cynthia, I guess she was out of town, so she wasn't at the dinner, but she's there this week, baby. And they are catching her up on what has happened. So she's heard little inklings about what transpired at this dinner. And so then she asked Portia, so what about you and Drew? Did you and Drew make up? And Portia's like, child, I ain't got time for Drew. Whatever. I'm saying the same thing. I'm over hearing about Dennis and Portia and Drew. And is he feeling with her? Is he sleeping with her? Is he dating her? Whatever. So anyway, all the ladies are there. They've got bloggers there. They've got press there. They've got local celebrities. They've got celebrities. Even Miss Lawrence pulls up. And I have not seen Miss Lawrence in forever. It was a pleasure seeing Miss Lawrence on this episode. And Lawrence tells Kenya that she was the person who put him on as to how to properly install clips with tracks. So he gives Kenya her flowers for that. The models come in. There's a step and repeat. I mean, all the ladies are just coming in looking good. Brit and Kelly decide to ride to this event together. Mind y'all, Brit had not officially been uninvited from this event, right? So she still decides to go. Had it been me, Brit, I probably would have set this one out. But Brit, she really does want to apologize to Kenya. She got this big, beautiful bouquet of white flowers to present to her. She has this card tucked in the flowers. She wrote a heartfelt message in it, a heartfelt apology. And she, was just really hoping to kind of mend things with Kenya at this event. So I feel like that's why she went. We find out that this same week, her aunt passed away. Her aunt had a stroke and passed away. Now, this is her father's sister. So we know she lost her father. Now her father's sister, her aunt, has passed. So Brit, I want to extend my sincere condolences to you and your family. To get a little personal here, today is the 3-year mark of my dad's passing. So today has been kind of rough for me. I know he's here. I can feel him. He's always with me. So I can just kind of relate to Brit in losing her dad's sister, her aunt. I could just only imagine how that feels compiled with everything else that has taken place this week with Kenya. You know, it's a lot. It's a lot. So she wants to go to this event to, you know, sincerely apologize to Kenya. That's what she's saying. And you know what? I believe it. And you know what? Even so, I call Kelly and Brit the titty twins. They bonded. They met over their titties. Kelly has always got her titties out no matter what is happening, child. She's going to have cleavage spilling over all over the place. And it's all good, girl. They look good. They look good. But even today, Brit has her girls completely covered up. They're covered. She didn't want to make it about her. She wanted to make it about supporting Kenya in this grand opening. Now, as I stated earlier, when you're apologizing to someone, the person that you're apologizing to, they have to be open to receiving the apology. Clearly, Kenya was not. All the other ladies are there at the event. The event's already gotten started when Kelly and Brit arrived. Kenya did kind of throw an homage to Bronner Brothers. And they're known for these fantastic fantasy kind of hair shows to highlight their stylist, to highlight the art, to highlight the hair. So Kenya kind of did a throwback to that with her models. We had a spider. We had Queen Charlotte, and there were some other people, child, but Kenya had a contest, had everybody vote on who they liked the best, and it was Queen Charlotte with the big purple hair, fantasy hair going on, looking fabulous, honey, fabulous. I loved it. So now after all that happened, Brit and Kelly show up to the grand opening, and you can see Kenya roll her eyes at Brit walking in. Brit and Kelly, they're greeting all the other girls. Hey girl, hey, how you doing? Oh girl, you look good. Oh girl, love your outfit. They're greeting each other, right? Brit goes up to Kenya to present her with the bouquet of flowers and to apologize. Kenya was not having it. Kenya's like, bye girl. She did not acknowledge Brit's presence. She didn't even look at Brit's direction. As Kenya said, she was paying Brit dust. Okay, girl. Sure you were. You paid her so much dust that after Brit read the room and realized that, okay, this is not going to happen today with this apology, she left. She did not want to make it about her. She wanted to, you know, still have it be about Kenya and her hair, her grand opening and all that. Brit bowed out. Kenya then makes an announcement to the room, and she starts talking about how a certain individual had tried to disrespect her and how she was sick and tired of the disrespect and how people were trying to take food out of her daughter's mouth. She opened up this hair spa for her daughter to hand it down to her and all of that. But she was over the disrespect and over people trying to take away from her. So in this moment, Kenya decided to do what she does best and take away from her own self. She starts displaying these poster boards of pictures of Brit prior to, you know, any work that she may have done to her face, any fillers, any tweaking of the nose. So she displays this poster board and it's like, this is Brit. We can see she had her nose done. We can see she had fillers, blah, 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 blah. Like, Kenya, what haven't you had done, girl? Because in some of these past scenes that we've seen in this episode of you from, you know, seasons ago, your face looks completely different. It looks like you had some face treatments, that skin, you did something to that skin to clear it up. You know, let's talk about the ass of it all. That ass was not looking the same as it did in that video with Jigga and with JD. Let's talk about that. You're so quick to point out what other people have had done, but you never want to talk about what you had done. Let's talk about what you had done. Anywho, so she's going around showing people these poster boards of Brit before and after. Cool, whatever. Then she comes around and shows this poster board of Brit in these music videos with, I guess, rappers that she doesn't consider to be A-list. Then she says, y'all, let me take a little sip here of this here rosé before I get into this last poster board, because this, I need to have a little sip, swirl it around. So this last poster board, she says her private investigators dug up this dirt. And y'all, before we get to this last poster board, let me rewind a little bit. When Kenya started with this speech, she told her little security guard there to take the flowers that Brit had brought for her and to put them outside to give them to the homeless. Kelly says, well, sir, before you take the flowers out, let me grab the card. Let me grab the card, please. Let me just save the card. Kenya says, I don't want to see that card. Set it on fire. I don't give an F about it. So then Kenya displays the first poster board with the before and after look. And immediately Kelly is like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. So she leaves. She and her team walk out. They meet up with Brit, who's still outside in front of the spa. I guess maybe she's waiting for a ride, because remember, she had originally rode there with Kelly. Kelly walks out. Kelly is like, we're out of here. And Brit is like, well, what's going on? And Kelly tells her, I'm not going to sit around and let my friend be disrespected. Not in front of my face. Thank you. This is how Portia should have had Shamia's back last episode. Instead of Portia questioning whether or not Shamia was singing on her song Never Had, that she was playing for all of y'all for the first time because she was excited to play it for y'all. When everybody else is swinging their glasses, swaying from side to side, never had. Yes. When everybody else is doing that, Portia's sitting up there looking dumb in the face. Is that you? Bitch, you should have been the main one up dancing around. You should have been the main one, like, yeah, that's my bitch, that's my girl, this is my bestie, y'all, this is her song. Instead, you want to sit up and throw shade, jealous maybe, because Shamia does have actual real talent. You should have shown up for Shamia last episode the way that Kelly is showing up for Brit now. And there's way more history between you and Shamia, so really there's no excuse, period. So then they get to poster board number 2, showing that the past music video work that Brit did back in high school. Okay, cool. This third poster board, let me have another sip. This third poster board is what did it for me. She pulled out the poster board in front of all of these bloggers, in front of all of these social media influencers, in front of all these local celebrities and non-local celebrities and press and strangers of Brit giving fellatio. Bravo could not show the images, so they were blurred out because of what they depicted. And I was totally disgusted. I really, really wanted to see some growth from Kenya. I have not been a fan of Kenya's from past seasons. To me, Kenya has been just a straight up bully. She's been a mean girl. After she had Brooklyn, I saw a little bit of a shift in her. I saw a little bit of a softer side. After she got married to Mark, it was Mark and Ken. Ken was different for about half of a second. And then Kenya arrived and came back in her full glory. I've never been a fan of Kenya. Sorry, I just haven't. If there was ever a chance of me being a fan of Kenya, if there were, which there wasn't, but if there had ever been a chance of me being a fan of Kenya, gone now. This girl, I'm not even gonna call her a woman. She's not a lady. She's not a woman. This girl, this child, decided to put Brit on blast and embarrass her in front of all of these people. And I am so happy that Brit walked out before Kenya did this. There's no excuse for the way that Brit allowed Kenya to get under her skin last episode. She made veiled threats. That was wrong. But what Kenya did here is disgusting. It's vile. Do you have a soul, Kenya? Do you really have a soul? Are you human? Do you have a heart? Because if you do, no matter how threatened you may have felt by Brit, no matter how disrespected you may have felt by Brit, there is a way to handle it. You could have gone to the execs at Bravo. You could have called up Andy. Hey, Andy, let me tell you what happened last night. Let me tell you what this girl said or did. Let's investigate it, and then let's take some action. Instead, Kenya took it upon herself to hire private investigators to dig up this dirt on Brit, and she could have tucked it. Instead, she made a public scene at her grand opening. See, this is what I don't understand. You have so much hate in your heart for this girl that you're shitting on yourself, you're shitting on your business, you're shitting on your bag. You've ruined it for yourself. The people at Bravo decided, hey, this was so vile that we're no longer going to have her on the show. And I don't blame her. Brit's threats were veiled. There may have been a code of conduct at Bravo that may have been broken. Obviously, maybe there wasn't because Brit is still on the show. But what Kenya did is illegal. And I'm not a lawyer, but this would be considered, to me, revenge porn. That's illegal. A lot of you Kenya fans are like, oh no, if Brit's on the show, then Kenya should still be on the show. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. If anything, maybe both of them should have been asked to leave. But they kept Brit. The way that Kenya retaliated in this moment sealed her fate. And it was deserved, in my opinion. Sorry, it was. Sorry, not sorry, but it was. That was just disgusting what she did in front of all of these ladies. So now Portia leaves. Cynthia, kind of taps Kenya on the shoulder and was like, you know what, Kenya, this was beneath you. Why did you do this? You shouldn't have done this. This is beneath you. But listen, congratulations on the opening. And I'll give you a call later. And Cynthia leaves. Kelly had already left. I think Drew and her muscle, her sister Allison, were still there. And I think Shamia left. And Angela left. So pretty much all the ladies left. And the camera crew catches Portia outside. And Portia says, you know what? Please don't film me. As a matter of fact, take me out of the scene. She didn't even want to be associated with that whole clown show that Kenya threw. And I don't blame her. It was disgusting. And that's pretty much all I have to say about that, y'all. That was the end of the episode. And again, if y'all are Kenya fans, I respect it. You're going to ride for Kenya. That's cool. I'm going to ride on what the side of right is. And in my closing thoughts, I'm going to say, if anything, again, both Brit and Kenya should have been removed from the show. But what Kenya did, what you're doing to Brit, how was that right? How do you feel justified in doing what you did? So y'all, with that, that's the end of my review for Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 16, episode 5. Y'all, please comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the episode. Let me know what you think of this review. This is my first time filming on camera, y'all. My other reviews have been faceless YouTube videos. I decided to switch it up a bit as promised in my last review and appear on camera this week. Give me a heart, give me a thumbs up, anything just to let me know that you're here. Let me know that you're present. If you like seeing me on camera, let me know. You are wanting to see more of me on camera, and I will be on camera again next week. Until then, y'all, stay safe, stay blessed, and don't forget to tell someone that you love them today, even if it's just yourself, because that counts for a lot. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Y'all, please like my video if you like my content. If you don't like it, I understand. But if you like my content, if you like my review, give me a thumbs up It's the best way and a free way for you to help my channel grow. I am a new channel, y'all, and I thank you for watching my videos, for listening to my reviews, for subscribing to my channel. And y'all, let's keep it going in the comments. Let's have some conversation about this in the comments. All right, y'all. See y'all next week. Peace.